Go to LSU's official basketball roster right now, and it looks like Will Wade has completely lost his mind. LSU's website lists 4 players: Divine Ugo-Chukwu, Abdi Bashir Jr., Austin Nunez, and Muhammad Diobate. That is the entire official roster shown publicly in late July. Most programs already have full teams practicing together, while LSU's page looks like it barely has enough players to run a workout. So the obvious question is not just what is Will Wade doing? The better question is whether the rest of the players he has recruited are actually going to be allowed to play. The truth is, LSU does not really have only 4 players connected to the program. Wade has built a much larger projected roster behind the scenes. The issue is that most of his biggest additions have not followed a normal college basketball path. They played professionally overseas, entered the NBA draft, signed professional contracts, or spent years competing after high school. Every case is different, and that is why some players appear much closer to being cleared than others. The 4 official players are the safe part of the plan. Divine Ugo-Chukwu is a 6'3" guard who has already played at Michigan State and Miami. He can handle the ball, defend, and help keep the offense organized. He probably isn't walking into LSU as a star, but he gives Wade an experienced guard who has already competed at a high level. Abdi Bashir Jr. is a 6'7" shooter who gives LSU size on the perimeter. He can stretch the floor and score without needing the ball on every possession. The concern is that LSU cannot expect him to carry the entire offense. He makes much more sense as a dangerous second or third option next to a proven creator. Austin Nunez is another experienced guard. He has moved around during his college career, but he gives Wade another ball handler who has played real college minutes. On a complete roster, he could be a useful depth piece. Because LSU only lists 4 players, people are looking at him like he has to become much more than that. The only official frontcourt player is Muhammad Diobate. He is a strong 6'7" forward who has already played in the SEC. He can defend, rebound, and bring toughness, but he cannot be LSU's only real option inside. That is where Wade's international recruiting plan becomes so important. The NCAA's new eligibility system is the reason Wade believes this can work. The model is becoming more focused on a player's age and when his 5-year eligibility window started. That could create a path for younger professionals who have never played college basketball. But it does not automatically clear everyone. Contracts, professional seasons, academic records, and NBA draft decisions still matter. The biggest gamble is R.J. Luis Jr. Luis already played 3 college seasons and became the Big East Player of the Year at St. John's. After college, he entered the NBA draft and signed a 2-way NBA contract. Even though he never played in an NBA or G League game, signing that deal is the major problem.
Luis is not waiting on normal paperwork. He likely needs the NCAA or a court to give him another chance. His argument is that he still has an unused college season and never appeared in a professional game. The NCAA can argue that he voluntarily turned professional when he signed the contract. If he is cleared, he immediately becomes LSU's best player. If he is denied, Wade loses the centerpiece of the roster. Yam Madar appears to be the failed version of this strategy. Madar was drafted by the Boston Celtics in 2020 and has played professionally overseas for years. His age, NBA draft history, and long professional career made his case much harder than the younger international players. LSU reportedly explored whether military service or the new age rules could give Madar a path, but later reporting indicated that he was not expected to play for LSU. He should no longer be included in realistic roster projections. Salil Niang has a better chance. Niang has played professionally in Italy and was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he reportedly did not sign an NBA contract. Cleveland owns his draft rights, but that is different from Luis signing an actual NBA deal. Niang's professional seasons and delayed college enrollment still have to be reviewed. However, he is only 22 and should have a stronger argument under the new age-based rules. He is not guaranteed to be eligible, but his case looks more realistic than Luis or Madar. Michael Ruzek may have the cleanest case among the international professionals. He is only 19, played professionally in Spain, and withdrew from the NBA draft before being selected. He has not signed an NBA contract. The NCAA still has to review his professional agreement, payments, and academic history, but his age gives him much more room. Of all Wade's overseas additions, Ruzek appears to be one of the safest bets to eventually get cleared. Marcio Santos is more complicated because he is older and has been playing professionally for years. He has competed in Brazil, Germany, and Israel and will be 24 during the season. Santos may still fit inside the final year of the NCAA's new 5-year window, but the timeline is tight. LSU has to prove that he still has a season available after all of his professional competition. His case may come down to exactly when his eligibility clock began. Bryce Desert is in a similar position. He is 23 and has played more than 100 professional games in France. He also signed a long-term professional contract overseas before his reported move to LSU. LSU has to show that Desert was properly released and explain how his contract and any buyout were handled. His age may leave him with one college season, but he should not be viewed as someone receiving several new years of eligibility. Jordan Bender is the simplest case. He is a traditional high school recruit who has not spent years playing professionally. Ugo Chukwu, Bashir, Nunez, and Diubate are the 4 players LSU has fully announced and placed on the roster. Wade has recruited several more players, but some are still dealing with eligibility reviews, professional contracts, international paperwork, or legal questions. The projected roster includes Saliu Niang, Michael Ruzek, Marcio Santos, Bryce Desert, and Jordan Bender. RJ Luis is the biggest unresolved case. Yam Madar appears to be out. That could leave LSU with around 9 or 10 players if most of the rulings go Wade's way. This is not happening because Wade forgot to recruit. He returned to LSU late in the cycle after many of the best American transfers had already committed. Instead of fighting over the few remaining portal players, he went into the international professional market and started targeting talent that other college coaches were either unable or unwilling to touch. That strategy comes with real advantages. These international players have competed against adults, practiced in professional systems, and lived with basketball as a full-time job. They may be more physically prepared than normal freshmen and less overwhelmed by the pressure of playing in the SEC. But there is also a reason most programs do not build an entire roster this way. Every player arrives with a different contract, academic background, and competition history. One eligibility ruling can completely change the team. Wade is not just evaluating talent, he is studying the rules and betting that LSU can get these players cleared before the season. And honestly, that sounds exactly like Will Wade. During his first run at LSU, Wade became known as one of the most aggressive recruiters in college basketball. He won an SEC regular season championship, reached the Sweet 16, and brought in players such as Naz Reid, Trendon Watford, Cam Thomas, and Tari Eason. His ability to find talent was never the problem. LSU fired Wade in 2022 and then watched the entire business of college basketball move closer to the world he had already been operating in. Wade rebuilt his career at McNeese, turned the program into a winner, and earned another high major job at NC State. One season later, LSU paid heavily to bring him back. Wade is betting that college basketball's changing rules have created a new market. He believes international professionals can become the next version of transfer portal veterans. Instead of fighting every other SEC program for the same American players, he's trying to find older, skilled talent that has never played college basketball. It might be brilliant. It might be reckless. It's probably both. So when people ask what Will Wade is doing, the answer is that he is pushing the new college basketball system as far as it can possibly go. He is building a roster out of professional experience, open roster spots, LSU's money, and unclear eligibility rules. If the decisions go his way, LSU could suddenly go from the team with 4 players to one of the most interesting teams in the country. If they go against him, that 4-player screenshot may stop being funny very quickly. The official roster is not the full story. It is only the part of Will Wade's gamble that LSU can safely put on its website right now.